Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmades.com, and thank you so much for joining me today. We are continuing with my Share What You Love feature for the month of May. So I'm going to share with you today the second free project kit for the month of May, featuring the Share What You Love suite. And we're actually going to use both the Love What You Do stamp set and the Make a Difference stamp set. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We'll take a look at the free project kit, and I'll give you all the details about Club QuitaBug as we go. And also, if you have not gotten one of those exclusive Share What You Love bundles, I would definitely recommend doing that. The bundle offer ends May 31st, and remember, when the new catalog goes live on June 1st, those exclusive bundles will not be available. So I would definitely take advantage of that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the free project kit. Okay, so in addition to the two stamp sets, I'm going to also be using the same ink pad colors that we used for the first Share What You Love project kit. So I've got Grapefruit Grove, that's one of the new ink colors, and then I've got Tranquil Tide Mint Macaron, a returning color, and then Rich Razzleberry. Okay, so all you have to do to get your free project kit in the mail from me is place a minimum $35 order in my online Stampin' Up! Store. That's $35 before tax and shipping. And as long as your order is placed between May the 16th through May the 31st, you qualify to receive this free card kit or project kit. And just make sure that you use the hostess code that I've got right here on the screen. Just don't use that code if your order is $150 or more, because you will earn Stampin' rewards, and don't worry, you will still receive the free project kit in the mail from me. And just remember, it is one kit per order. So if you spend $100, you don't get multiple kits. It's one kit per order. So your kit will come nicely packaged from me. And I've got everything in here that you need, all of the consumable supplies. You will need the stamp sets and the ink pads if you want to recreate each project just as I have. So I've got all the pieces in here. So let me just show you what the three projects look like. So we've got two card projects. So I love this card. I think it is so pretty. I love these colors together. So this one says, Love What You Do. And I was struggling with this sentiment because I thought, what would you use this sentiment for? Love what you do. And I think this card would, and this sentiment would work really well if you're giving a graduation card, or if you're giving a card to someone who just recently got a new job. I think this would be a great sentiment for occasions like that. So I really love how this card turned out. Then we've got, I'm lucky to have a friend like you. So I love both of these cards. The colors are just so pretty, and that designer paper is gorgeous. And then here is our third project, a cute little box. So it says, hello, beautiful. And so I used that Make a Difference stamp set to stamp out the word hello. I really love this cute little box. So this uses one of our silver Gable boxes. These are from the, I think these were in the Occasions catalog. I love these cute little boxes. This is my first time to actually use these boxes for a project. So I just thought these three projects were so cute. And when you get your project kit, you'll either get this ribbon, which is the Fresh Fig finely woven ribbon, or you will get powder pink. That's what I have here. Or your kit might come with the Tranquil Tide. So it just depends, but all three colors coordinate nicely with the designer paper. All right, so I've got my materials here for the first card. So for this card, I've actually gone ahead and embossed this piece of Grapefruit Grove cardstock, and I used the new, let me see, this is the Lovely Floral Dynamic Textured Impressions embossing folder. So this embossing folder is part of the Share What You Love suite, and it's really a very pretty folder. So I used that to emboss this, and then we've got a piece of Whisper White thick cardstock for the card base. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring in my Fast Fuse and add this layer right on top. And remember, in your package or in your project kit, there is a full color PDF with instructions or with all of the project measurements. So you'll get all of that on the PDF. All right, so now I'm going to take this piece of designer paper, and I'm just going to add this along the bottom here. Okay, so I want the green piece or the green pattern to be face up, and I'm just going to put this right about here going across the front of the card. Okay, then I'll just put a little bit of fuse here. I'm going to add my pearlized doily. Just put that right there. Then I'm going to put a little bit more fast fuse, and I'm going to take this little piece of velvet ribbon. This is Rich Razzleberry, and I am just going to kind of snip those ends at an angle, and I'll just lay that right in the center across my doily. Okay, right there. All right, so that looks good. Okay, so now I've got my Stampin' Up! Piercing mat. I've got a little scrap piece of copy paper here, and I'm going to do some stamping on this die cut piece of Whisper White. So I'm bringing in my Mint Macaron ink pad, and then I've got my Grapefruit Grove in the new ink pad case. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the Mint Macaron. I'm going to stamp this little image right here, so just ink that up. And I'm going to stamp it off because I just want it to stamp lightly in the background here. So right there looks good. Then I'm going to bring in that Love What You Do sentiment. And this would also be a great sentiment for teachers or people who are in professions where they serve or take care of others. This would be a great sentiment for a card for someone like that. Okay, so there's that. All right, so now I'm just going to flip this over and add a little bit of fuse to the back. And I'll just put that on this piece of Tranquil Tide. I used the layering circles to die cut both of these pieces. And a few dimensionals on the back of this layer. And I'm going to go ahead and add some of these artisan pearls. And just remember, the pearls do not come in the kit, but if you purchase the Gotta Have It All bundle, the pearls are included in that bundle, but they won't be in your project kit. And then let me go ahead and add one right here, right about there. Okay, so I'll just give you a close-up of what that sentiment looks like. Isn't that pretty? Alrighty, so we can go ahead and add this on to the front of the card. I really love how this card turned out. So pretty. Okay, right there. Alrighty. All right, there we go, and that finishes up project number 1. I love this card. Alrighty, so I've got my pieces here for project number 2. So I'm going to start with my stamping. So again, I've got my piercing mats, and then I've got a piece of scrap paper here. I've got the die cut circle. This was cut with the stitch shaped framelits. So I've got 2 ink pads. I'm going to use Mint Macaron, and then I've got Rich Razzleberry for the sentiment. So I'm going to stamp this big splotch, kind of a watercolor splotch here. I'm going to stamp this on the background of my circle, but I want to stamp it off once because I just want to get a nice light shade of this Mint Macaron. Okay, that should be good. Perfect, I like that. And then I'm going to stamp that sentiment. I'm lucky to have a friend like you. We'll just ink that up in the Rich Razzleberry and stamp that in the center. That looks great. Let me just show you up close. I love how that little watercolor splotch looks in the background. Adds a really nice touch. All right, so we can go ahead and start putting this card together. So I've got a Mint Macaron card base here, so I'm going to go ahead, just give that a nice crease. Okay. Alrighty, then you've got this piece of mint macaron. This has already been embossed for you using the Hexagon Dynamic Impressions embossing folder. This is a 3D embossing folder. So was the other one for the first project. But I've already embossed this for you. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to use the debossed side. I like how this side looks for this card, so I'm going to use this side. So I'm actually going to stick this down with dimensionals. Alrighty, got my backings off, and I'm going to go ahead and center this layer onto the front of my card base here. Make sure I've got that on there good. Okay, then you've got some more of that Share What You Love Designer Series paper. So I'm going to take this piece and just add this on to the front of the card, and I'm going to put this, I'm going to line it up off to the left, but I'm going to line it up all the way with the top of the card base. So it's going to go past that embossed layer. So I'll put it right there. Then you've got another piece of designer paper. This is actually the reverse side of this same pattern. I'm going to take this piece and just slip it in and banner the ends. If you don't have the banner triple punch, you can just use your scissors to do the same thing. And then I'll just put this down just a little bit. Oh, right about here looks good. Okay. Then you've got a few of these leaf punches, and I used the leaf punch to punch these out of vellum cardstock. So I'm actually going to just adhere these down. I'll probably put them like this. I want them to kind of be tucked behind the sentiment. So let's see. Yep, that actually looks really good. So I'm going to put those right about there. Put a little bit of fast fuse. Whoops. And I'll just stick them in. Okay. And then I'll put dimensionals on the back of this. Okay. And now I'm just going to put the sentiment down right about here. Okay, and then you've got a piece of linen thread, so I'm going to take this, just use my scissors, get these kinks out. Okay, and then you just want to tie this in a bow, and I'm going to keep the ears of the bow kind of long. Well, not too long, but I guess like that. That looks pretty good. Okay, and then I just want to see if I can tuck this underneath here, and it looks like I need a glue dot. Okay, I've got my glue dots here, so let me just bring one in. So I'll just put this right about there, and then we'll just tuck that in. Yep, just like that. So just leave the ears kind of flopping out, and then just trim down these ends just a little bit. It just adds a nice little bit of extra texture to this card. And then lastly, I'm going to add one of these little pearls. I'll put one right there. Okay, and there we go. That finishes up project number 2. Love it. Such a pretty card. All right, so here are my pieces for project number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and take my piece of Whisper White, bring back my piercing mat and my scratch paper. I've got this die cut oval piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to bring in Tranquil Tide, Mint Macaron, and Rich Razzleberry for my stamping. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my little flower image in Mint Macaron, and I want this to be off to the right. So just stamp it right here. Okay, like that. Then we've got a little filler image here, so I'm just going to ink that up, stamp it off. We'll just fill in these little flowers. Then I'm going to take the sentiment that says, "It's a beautiful day," and I'm going to mask off everything except for the word beautiful. And I'm just going to use some washi tape to do this. If you have the Rich Razzleberry marker, you could just ink up the word beautiful using the marker, but if you do not have the marker, you can mask off the words that you don't want using washi tape. All right, so you can see that I have used my washi tape and masked everything off except for beautiful. So now I'm just gonna bring in my Rich Razzleberry and ink up the word beautiful. Trying to be careful here. And then just be sure that you pull up your washi tape before you stamp on your project. So I'm just going to carefully peel this up. And just be sure that you didn't get any ink on any of the parts that you didn't want ink. And it looks like I did a pretty good job. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the word beautiful. Looks pretty good. Now I've already put my letters for the word hello from that Make a Difference stamp set on these little A blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up each of the letters in Tranquil Tide. And I'm going to stamp down, spell out hello. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight or anything like that. It's okay if it's not. It's a handmade card. Okay. And there we go. There it is. Hello, beautiful. All right, so now I'm going to take my sentiment and I'm just going to adhere this onto this scalloped oval. This is a piece of silver foil. So I'll just center that up. Just like that. Okay, that looks good. Set that aside. So now we can take the little box here and I'm just going to go ahead and build this box up. So I'm just going to pop out these little side bits, move those out of the way. Okay, so now I'm going to very gently go in, fold on all of my score lines. This will just help the box go together a little bit easier. All right, so once you've folded on all of those score lines, then what you want to do is turn your box upside down and you're going to fold in, this kind of looks like the letter H to me. You want to fold that piece in first, then fold in your two side flaps, just like that, and then you want to fold this one that has the little tab, fold that one in last. And there's your bottom, that built up the bottom, okay? And then for the top, you just want to pinch in these two pieces and then tuck them into these little side slits, and that's what closes up and secures your Gable box. Okay, so there we go. There it is. All right, so I'm going to set this off to the side for a second. So then you've got another piece of that designer series paper. This is cut at 2 inches by 12 inches, and then I have scored it for you at 2 inches, 6 inches, and then again, where is it, at 8 inches. Okay, so 2 inches, 6 inches, 8 inches. Just go ahead and just give them a little fold. You don't really need to score them. Then I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive onto this entire strip. All right, once you've got your adhesive on there, what you want to do is This is going to be the back of your box because you've got this little seam right here. So I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to start by putting this first 2-inch piece right here on the side. So you want to start with the side, okay? So get that on there, straight, okay? And then start wrapping this around. Got to be careful because we've already got adhesive on this, okay? Wrap it around, adhere it down, okay? Then pull it all the way, okay? There we go. Okay, so there you've got your box all nice and wrapped. You're going to see there's just a tiny bit of that silver showing, but you can barely see it, and it's on the corner at the back. Okay, so there we go. We've got our box all wrapped up. Looks good. Now I'm going to take my, this kit, this particular one has the powder pink finely woven ribbon. But remember, there's 3 different choices that you might get in your kit. So I'm going to go ahead and just wrap that around and pull it through the handle. And I'm going to tie it in a bow. And I think I'm actually going to tie it upside down. I found that I had better results when I flipped it around. So let's see. Okay, now let's see if I can kind of straighten these loops out. Okay, so I've kind of fiddled around with it a little bit, and I like how that looks, so I'm going to go ahead and just trim my ends up just a little bit here. Okay, I think that looks pretty cute. Isn't that cute? Now we can take our sentiment, and I'm going to go ahead and add some dimensionals on either side here. I don't want it to touch on my ribbon. I'm just going to put it on the sides, and then we can center up our sentiment. Put it on just like that. So pretty. And then we'll finish it up with some pearls. So I think I'm going to do 3 of this color. Do I want to do this color or the softer color? Actually, I'll do this color for this one. So I'll put one here, here, and then I'll do another one. Maybe right there. Okay. All right, and there we go. That finishes up project number 3. Isn't it so pretty? I love this box. It's a beautiful box. All right, so that finishes up this second free project kit featuring the Share What You Love suite during the month of May. I hope that you guys love these projects. They're absolutely gorgeous. They really are. They are so beautiful, and I think you guys will enjoy getting this project kit in the mail from me. So remember, all you have to do to receive this free project kit in the mail is place a minimum $35 order in my online Stampin' Up! Store. That's $35 before tax and shipping. Make sure you use this hostess code as long as your order is not greater than $150. If it is greater, do not use that code. You will still qualify the kit, and you will earn Stampin' rewards. So thank you again. If you would like more details about this project kit and the shipping dates, just click the blog post link just below the video in the description notes. It'll take you on over to today's coordinating blog post. You can find out all those details over there. So thanks again, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back soon with another tutorial. Bye now.